What's up, guys? You guys are about to watch a 30-minute clip of the game console masterclass that one of my head coaches, Matt, put on. He is a master at what he does. I think you guys are going to get a ton of value out of it. However, this clip is only 30 minutes, but you probably will learn some stuff from this. If you want the full, unedited, 1 hour and 45-minute webinar, check out the links below. The full thing is only going to be $37. Obviously, I have to pay Matt for taking time to do this and create this for you guys. So it's only $37. Most of that is actually going to go to him for his efforts so that he can continue doing this in the future. So all of it's below. Check it out. And I'm going to give you guys this 30-minute clip just for some value. Okay, we are live. Okay, cool. You can go ahead and go back to your thing there. All right, sweet. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? So tonight, guys, this webinar is all about cash for consoles. We're going to be showing you guys how to flip game consoles, how to find game consoles, how to best resell consoles, because it's not typically the way that you think. And guys, tonight, it's not going to be me teaching. All I'm going to be doing is asking some questions tonight. I'm handing literally everything over to Matt, who is an expert in this very specific space of this industry. He's shown me how to make thousands of dollars already flipping game consoles in a very unique way. So Matt, dude, here, I teed you up, so it's your turn. And yeah. Let's rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and start tagging everybody in the live stream. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and let you get started and introduce yourself.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? It's really good to connect with all of you. And if you're following Chris, then I know you're in the right space to become a professional reseller. And much like Chris, I've been in the game for several years, and I've niched down into something that is distinct within the reselling circle, which is distinctly gaming consoles. I love electronics. I flip a lot of different things. I'll flip anything if it makes a profit, but I especially like to move gaming consoles. And so I'm here on this call to help you guys do just that. I want you to be able to find consoles, I want you to be able to resell them and make a profit and succeed. So much like Chris has done with phones and other distinct electronics, I'm going to share how to do that with you today with gaming consoles. So I'll just give you a little bit of backstory about myself, just so you have some context. I still work a full-time job. I do not do this full-time. I guess I do it part-time, full-time. And so I work about 40 or 50 hours a week. I've been married 15 years, and my wife's been really cool to let me still do this. I got 2 kids, and they're both in school. I've been reselling, that says 2.5 years. I've actually been reselling about 3 years now. And on average, I probably do about $1,500 with this reselling gig on a monthly basis. And that can fluctuate. I've had times where through a quarter of the year, I've done as much as 10 grand, and other times where maybe it was more like 1,200, but it's always incredibly lucrative and simple. And once you figure out how to do this, you're just going to see, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you're going to see dollar bills kind of floating everywhere. You're going to look on Facebook and you're not going to be able to not see this. So the cool thing about what we're about to share with you is you can't unsee this. It's very cool. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right into it. And by the way, Chris, if anybody kind of jumps in and throws in comments in the chat, just kind of give me a heads up there.
Yeah, that's something I want to address real quick. By the way, guys, we're going to have the last 15 minutes of this webinar. What we're going to do is I'm going to drop the Zoom link into the comments section, and I'll actually edit the actual title. That way you guys can hop on, and we're going to use that last 15 minutes where you guys can literally hop on, ask Matt questions directly so you guys can get maximum value out of this webinar. With that being said, Matt, go ahead. I'm going to start tagging people, and let's rock and roll.
Right on. So I'm just going to explain to you what we do, guys. I'm going to tell you what we do. I'm going to show you what we do. And then I'm going to walk you through the steps of what we do. And I say we because ideally, if you didn't want to flip gaming consoles, I highly doubt you'd be watching this. Okay, so this by design and from the jump is intended to help you as a potentially beginner reseller. I want to fast track you into the process of reselling gaming consoles. So this is designed to take knowledge from the past 3 years of flipping electronics and gaming consoles and help you get caught up very quickly. So some of this is going to seem very simple, but the simplicity of it, I don't think can be overstated. Like if you follow these steps, I can reassure you, you are going to make money. You are going to be in the profit. And if you consistently follow these steps, you are going to succeed in this process. So here's how we do this. First thing, we source the item. We try to find the right items and the right money. Next thing, we want to buy it. We want to be able to assess the value, negotiate it, and finally purchase the item. We want to be able to test these consoles. And once we test them and make sure they're working right, we clean them up, make them look nice. We photograph them, we list them, then we sell them, we ship them, and we make sure we get good reviews because we're not just about trying to get the one-off or the one item out the door. We want to get multiple items, right? You want to have this process snowball. So let's get right into it. The first thing and most important thing, and we will spend the majority, the lion's share of this time is going to be helping you learn how to source and find the right items. Where is the money? Because once you find the money, you can think of this as like a glorified treasure hunt. Once you know what consoles to look for, what specific items to find, then you can immediately, your eyes can kind of lock in as you're looking for those things right off top. So with the reach out method, that's the method that I use specifically. If you want ads, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, Chris Schroeder is your guy. If you need ads, he will help you crush the ad game. For me, because I also work full time, the reach out method, it allows me to have the flexibility to be able to go to customers when I want and when I'm ready to source. And so I've used that in balance with my weekly schedule to my advantage. The reach out method we use on various marketplaces. So we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about OfferUp, Craigslist, Nextdoor app. If you're not familiar with Nextdoor app, that's probably the one that you might be a little less familiar with, but it's good. It's an easy app to download, okay? So all these are in the app form, and all of these you can also access on desktop, okay? But they're all basically just different marketplaces and platforms where people put items up for sale that you can just go purchase and buy. So Facebook Marketplace, the most common, and it's probably going to be like our biggest dog in the fight, or so to speak. Okay. With ads, I have done ads before. Just to let you know, I'm not unfamiliar with that part of the game, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because Chris is your boy. But I have had great success with ads too. But this is about the reach out method. So let's keep cruising. With the reach out method, all right, we're looking at Facebook Marketplace. And when I say Facebook Marketplace, we're talking about this space right here, Facebook Marketplace. Show you just some of the items you can find, right? If I were just to go here and pull up Marketplace, you're going to see that the algorithm is already set to curate and show me gaming consoles because that is probably 80 to 90% of what I source. All right. OfferUp, if I click on this, it's going to pull up OfferUp. Pretty similar, as you can see. And all these items have that same vibe. So I'm just showing this to you real quick. Okay. And I'm going to keep moving forward. Okay. So once you go to one of these marketplaces, you know where you're going to source it. We want to buy the item. So we want to assess the value of the item. We want to negotiate the deal, and then we want to secure that purchase. So the most valuable skill, I think, hands down, and Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think hands down within this business model or this industry of reselling is being able to properly assess the value of what you're buying. And the reason I'm saying that to you is because if you can assess the value well, then that's where the money is made. The money is made when you buy, not when you sell. So if you know what to buy, the good thing for you is you're always going to be in profit. That is a huge, big thing to remember. So that's why you see that highlighted here. So when it comes to assessing the value, you should be prepared to buy any one of the following, man. You can buy retro or vintage. The difference between vintage and retro is vintage is actually the OG item you want to buy. Let's say you want to buy an old school Atari 2600, or you want to buy a throwback NES or Super NES system. Then that would be a vintage item. There are retro items which are made to look like the old item, but they don't have the same value because one of them is made new to look like the old. So be clear, vintage items are the actual items that were manufactured in 1991 when the Super NES came out, and I was 10 years old. We're going to buy new items, broken items. Believe it or not, people don't know how to assess the value of broken items. Customers that have bought something, this PS4 doesn't work. Chris, how many PS4s have you bought that had a broken HDMI plug in the back and people sold them to you for stupid cheap?
Dude, I can't even count. I know I've resold well over 100 broken PS4s. Most of them I bought for 20 to 30, maybe even $40 at the most.
Right. And Chris and I could both tell you right now, like a broken PS4 on eBay, you could list right now, and it's probably going to resell for 100, 125 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark.
They sell fast as well.
Yeah. So somebody's looking for a broken console that you haven't bought yet. And when you find one next time, you're going to realize that there's money right there to be made, which is super cool. And then lastly, like most of what you're probably going to be dealing with is used consoles, right? But the used reseller market is absolute fire. So when we talk about vintage consoles, I'm gonna walk you through what you need to be looking for here. So just pay close attention and stay with me. When we're talking about vintage consoles, I'm gonna talk to you about some of the brands. We're talking about Ataris. We're talking about 2600s, the Light Sixer, the goated Heavy Sixer. If you don't know what a Heavy Sixer is, it was manufactured by Atari right in Sunnydale, California. It was not made in a foreign place, and it is more coveted item by collectors. When you start thinking about vintage consoles, you've got to think like a collector. People want to relive their childhood. They want to get caught back up in these moments and these memories and the fun that they had. And you also got to realize, guys, that gaming is the most popular entertainment element that people seek. It is more craved than any other aspect of the entertainment industry. And so when you step into the reseller space with gaming consoles, you become a part of that, and you can scoop up some of that revenue. We're also looking at other types of Ataris and, you know, rare types of Ataris like the Jaguar and the Lynx that are kind of hard to come by. But with the Nintendo, the OG NES, the Super NES, the GameCube, just bought a GameCube last week. It was great. The handheld consoles like the Game Boys. Sega also has handhelds like Game Gear, Dreamcast, Sega CD. PlayStations, I mean, PS1, 2, 3, 4, because right now you got the PS5, which is super popular. Microsoft Xboxes, and then of course VR consoles, which has only recently come on the scene in the past 2 or 3 years. We're looking at the Oculus. I got great news to share with you about VR consoles a little bit later, so stay tuned. I want you to stay locked into this because I'm going to share some easy, like low-hanging fruit within the VR realm of things that you could probably go find today and literally make 100, 150 bucks. I'm
probably
not even kidding. What's that?
Probably right after this call.
Yeah, probably right after this call. So just keep listening. The HTC Vive and don't forget the PS4 VR. I don't have that one listed down there, but that's one of them as well that is still really popular, and it's just very cool. Okay, so new and current consoles that we'll be looking at. Nintendo Switch OLED. It's selling in Best Buy right now like hotcakes. The PS5, digital and disc, Microsoft Xbox Series X, and then the Oculus Quest 2, which comes in 3 formats, 64 gig, 128, 256, and then a very peculiar and super high-end VR called Valve Index, which is, it's not for me, but maybe it's for you. Okay, so where's the money with these consoles? Where is the money in these specific consoles? The money is, I mean, it's there in any used console. You can find it at the right price. Chris and I are going to show you how to look this up in just a moment. But money consoles, I mean, in any variation of color, distinction of color. For example, let's say you were to get a cosmic purple PS4 gaming controller. That gaming controller is going to hold more value than a black basic PS4 gaming controller. In fact, I sold one last week for $45. Whereas if you were to buy a brand new PS4 gaming controller or a used black one, it's probably like 30, 35 bucks. But $10, $15 difference there's some money there. Limited edition items. This was really limited edition when it dropped. This is the Game & Watch. When these came out, they were super hot, and then Nintendo started to mass produce more of them. But then when these were first made, this kind of retro Game & Watch was really hot, and it sold for more than it actually released in retail. Anything with an enhanced function, like if you were to buy an Oculus 2, but you could get a headset with like the Elite like Pro strap that goes around your head, then that headset now has increased by like 50 to 80 bucks, give or take. And so these are the types of things that I'm telling you, they're almost always worth more. Examples of things that I've sold that are worth more: Atari Heavy Sixer, Super Nintendo NES One Chip is like the very first manufactured one. The PS3 Super Slim God of War console, I had a guy buy that from me. It's a really cool looking red console. He wanted it to be his son's first. The goated and often sought out PS4 Pro Spider-Man 1 terabyte gaming console that I actually have right here. I picked this up 2 weeks ago. Bought this guy for 250 bucks. You know how much this sells for? About $400 to $500. Been looking for one for a while, but I managed to find one using the things that I'm going to share with you here right now. And then like a Nintendo Switch V1, where if you know what you're looking for, it's hackable. And I'll give you a quick example right here. Any Nintendo Switch that has begins with this serial code right here is what they consider unpatched. And an unpatched Nintendo Switch sells for generally $50 to $100 more than a patched Nintendo Switch because hackers like to buy them. I bought one once, put it on eBay. It sold within like 30 minutes. Realized, you probably know what I was thinking, Chris. Oops, I made a mistake because somebody bought it so quick. I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't price it high enough.
I didn't. Then I got my hands on like 2 or 3 more, and one of them actually, I bought a Switch bundle and I bought a Switch bundle for like $200, and I resold that console alone. This is when they were super hot, for about $450, $500 bucks, and that was just a really great move. So when we talk about assessing the value of consoles, before we move into games, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, okay? So let's just pick any old, and of course, again, this is for anybody who might be new to the game of reselling and wants to resell gaming consoles. Let's just pick any old item right here. Here's a nice classic item, PS4 Slim. I'm going to go over to this item, and it's okay. So the description tells me that this is a 500 gigabyte item. If you don't know where I am, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking up gaming consoles. We'll look up the console first. So let's go over here to eBay. We're going to type in PS4 Slim, 500 gigabyte, 500 gigabyte, and we're going to type in console only because we just want to know what that sells for. So we're going to press return. It's going to give us some magic results here. Now, eBay has already done this for me because I do this so often. So I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to X that out. Typically, when you resell on eBay, you're going to take this item, you're going to assess the value. Assuming that you buy it, you're going to buy it, but you want to assess the value first. So look at the used condition. So condition is used. See what we did here? Buy it now pricing. Yes, you could do an auction, but you're going to get more for buy it now pricing. If you want most bang for your buck, buy it now. Used. Scroll down all the way on the sidebar to this little magic spot where you can click this sold listings. And it's going to tell me that a Sony PlayStation 4 Slim 500 gigabyte jet black only console resells for $200. Okay, this one's only for parts. We're looking for functioning ones. This one's working, $215. 200, yeah, it looks like this one actually sold for super cheap, which is kind of rare. So when you're doing this, I pay less attention to the anomalies, the one-offs, stuff like that. For this $200, $235, right? So if we're trying to assess the fair value there, I'm just going to split the difference. I'm going to say $200 for one. Saw another one for $210. That's number two. Saw another one for $235. That's number three. All right, now we got three different values. We're going to take those and get a conglomerate. We're going to divide by three. And we
I
can
can
see
drop my appraisal calculator in here too, man.
Yes.
For people. I'll drop my appraisal calculator in the comments for you guys to make it super, super easy.
Yeah, with Chris's appraisal calculator, you don't even have to go through the tedious essence of what I'm doing here, but just for the sake of what we're doing. So you're looking at $215 for this basic item. So now we know what it's worth. So let's go back to that. Okay, this item's selling for $165. And it has a controller, and check it out. It actually has 6 games with it. So I just want you to think about this for a second. Like, we haven't even really gotten into like me telling you, hey, here's where the money is. But I mean, Chris, is this a potentially purchasable item right here?
The PS4?
Yeah. This bundle for $165?
Yes. Right off the bat, I can tell.
Yeah.
6
I mean, guys, honestly,
probably sell for $15 to $20 a piece. So 6 of them times, let's say 15 on the low end, right?
Yeah.
What is that, $90 or something like that? Maybe a little bit more. And then the PS4 Slim itself, what does that sell for? $250, $280?
Yeah, we were just looking up the Slim. We're looking at probably about $215 just for the console alone. And notice some of these guys don't even have any cables with them. Like, what's up with this guy listing this without any cords? This one sold for $220 with cords. Pay attention to these little details too. This person also charged $15 extra for shipping. This one sold for $250 with 4 games. So all these little kind of nuances in what you're experiencing and seeing matter. But if I said, hey, you could spend $165 to buy this, you could resell the console alone for $215. eBay is going to take about maybe 15% of that with fees and shipping. But still, if we're going to subtract 15% from selling this console, $215, then look, you bought it for $165 and you sold it for $183, and you're still left with a controller plus 6 games. Guys, this is exact magic that I'm talking about. I didn't even plan for this. I'm just looking stuff up. Once you start looking these items up more consistently, the Facebook algorithm is naturally going to curate the screen, and it's going to show you items that you look up on a regular basis. And so it's trained to show me these things. So I do find these deals more often, but because I'm looking for them. So yeah, these are all pretty distinct games. I've sold a few of these games. You got OG Black Ops 4. In fact, I'm going to show you a really cool trick right here just for free. If you ever have trouble viewing any of those games, go back, double click the URL, and then press M at the beginning of the URL. Press enter. And what it'll do is it'll take you to the mobile website. And now you can click on this link and check it out. Look at how much easier these games are to look up, guys. Some people don't even know this trick, but this is a ninja move right here, I'm sure, all of you guys. Now you can look up these games if you wanted to. So let's say I wanted to go look up Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Let's just go look up that one game. There's Black Ops 4. What did this game last sell for? Okay, sold for about $10. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. But the space you want to be in, since we're going to transition to games here in just a second, the space you want to be in is, I'd say, any games that are going to net you somewhere between $12 to $20 a piece. Like if you can sell them for $15 or $20 on eBay, that's kind of the pocket you want to be in when it comes to games. So you could still buy this bundle, but specifically, like if the games are only going to sell for like $8, $10, $12, just bundle them together and sell them collectively. I just did this with some racing games yesterday. I sold 3 racing games for about $30. It makes it more attractive to the buyer. Notice how these games, like they have a theme. This game, first-person shooter, fighting game, another kind of fighting game. Looks like it could be a shooter game here. All these games you could kind of bundle together, and you could resell them after you kind of looked up each of the prices specifically. So that's a whole nother move. And then finally, not to disregard what's up with the actual console here, but you still have a controller. And that controller is, I'd say, worth minimum $25 to $30 because I've looked these up a ton. But just to prove it to you, PS4 black controller only. Okay, there we are. That one is parts. We don't want that one. This guy right here is 17, again, parts only. So here's 2 for $40, so it's split the difference. That one's about $20 a piece. Okay. Let's go used. Be more specific with my listings. I like to do this too to help me search a little more quickly. I'll press Control F, pre-owned, and then what we can do is we can just tap down and it'll help us look these guys up really fast.
Ninja trick. Write that down.
Yes. This will help you get through stuff very quickly. Okay. So these 2 are both pre-owned. They sold for about $35. So I'm going to say, yeah. So $20, that's $20 for a broken one. So I'm going to still kind of stand by my word here and say at about $25, you're in the right pocket for a functioning black one because Facebook doesn't want to seem to show me a one that isn't for parts only. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so if the used ones that are busted are selling for almost $20, then I'd say safe call, add 10 to 12 more dollars for each of those. So there you are. You got a controller. It's about $25, $30. You got a console at $265. You got each of these games that, worst case scenario, you're going to get, I'd say, $8 to $10 a piece on them. That's if they're like just really sucky games. But chances are at least 1 or 2 of these is going to net you a little bit more than that. My bet's on the zombie game. So there you are. Let's say 50, $70 for these games, 25 for the controller, and then $215 for the console. And let's do some quick math here. $215. We'll say 50 on the games minimum, and we'll lowball that. And then 25 on the controller, and we bought this for $165. We're at $290. Let's subtract 15%. $246. So we're looking at about $250 minus what you spent, $165. You just made $80. So here you are on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, when you're not working, and you come across this deal. You buy it for $165. You part this bad boy out. You sell the console, the games, the controllers separately each, and manage to make yourself $80 by relisting it on eBay. And that's kind of the gig, guys. I'm going to show you how to do that just on an even more advanced scale as we continue to work throughout this this webinar and this cast here. So talking to you about the consoles, I shared with you about the consoles. Not going to waste any time transitioning right here into the games. I absolutely love reselling video games. You know why? Because they're super easy to list and they're super easy to ship. You take a picture of the front and the back of the box, take a picture of what's inside the case, assuming you have one, and you take 3 to 4 photos, And all I have to do is like just put it in a plastic bubble mailer to ship it, and boom, it's done. And you can make some killer money just on games alone. But to help you understand what type of games we're looking for, let's be more specific. Limited edition games, exclusive games, or games represented by really hyped characters. What would be an example of a limited edition game? I'll give you a quick example. This right here is a limited edition Wii remote that came with an exclusive release of Zelda Skyward Sword that released for the Wii. This controller right here sells for about 40 to 60 bucks on its own because it came with that game. But that game also came with an exclusive music CD and a disc, Zelda Skyward Sword for Nintendo Wii. That would be a limited edition game or an exclusive release. Games represented by hype characters. You can look down here and see. You got Pokemon is always fire. And Pokemon DS games.
Hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are enjoying this game console masterclass. However, this is somebody else's information, and I did bring them in, and they are obviously getting paid. He is one of my coaches. So if you want the rest of the game console flipping masterclass, you can get it. You can check it out below for $37. You'll be able to get the whole webinar, everything, and you'll be able to watch the entire thing. This video stopped about 30 minutes. There's about an hour and 15 minutes or so left. So if you want the rest of it, definitely check it out. It's only 37 bucks one time, and I think you guys will love it. So have fun, and I hope you guys got some value out of this 30-minute clip.